Guys, Asher Rachel Legends, welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Happy Monday, or whenever you're watching this video. I had a low-key weekend. Went for a long walk with the kiddo. What else did we do? Kind of had like a chill 4th of July. Happy Independence Day for anybody in the U.S. Hopefully it was safe, happy, and healthy. What else is going on? Well, we have some events in Raid Shadow Legends. We have a summoning event, Summon Rush event as part of the Fusion coming up in about 16 hours, 15 at the time this video goes live. So what events are they going to plan for the summoning event tournament? We'll review those. I'm also finishing already The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. My first kind of foray into Brandon Sanderson. And I got to say, I am hooked on the series already. It's cool to read a series, a fantasy series that's actually, ongoing too, right? I think he's working on book 6 right now. So can't wait to dive into book number 2. If you have any recommendations, I was thinking about releasing a top 10 books or series of all time video, mix of fiction and nonfiction, different genres. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll put it on this channel. Maybe I'll put it on the main channel. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to business here. What do we have for news? So we have this Tuesday, tomorrow, July 9th, we're launching an extra legendary event for Ancient Shards. Okay, extra legendary events. I prefer 2x personally, but if you're close to your Mercy, you can obviously, get an extra legendary. So don't mind pulling during those time periods. We're also going to run a progressive chance. There's going to be obviously 15x on champions from the selected pool of Ancient, Primal, and Sacred and Voids. Now, the extra legendary event is from Ancient only. Keep that in mind as well. Progressive chance. This is Tuesday's progressive chance. We'll have a different progressive, roster of champions on July 9th for Wednesday as well. So we have Snicktrack, Kyoku, Strategos, Insulin, Gaia, the Truth Shield, Kira, the Watcher, and then we have for Voids, Krisk, Nekret, and Niamhe, Spear of Niceria. Man, I butchered her name. I apologize. All right, let's talk about these champions. First of all, an underwhelming lineup, I would say, overall, right? There's no, at least for me, there's no champions who I'm like, oh yeah, this is a hard to pass on. This is very tempting. So quickly, let's talk about them all. I'm not saying they're all trash. Snicktrack, I like. He's very good in Chimera Trials. He has a decreased speed on an AoE. He has a big shield, ally protect, reflect damage for that trial, decrease attack as well as a reflect damage in Leech. Whenever an ally under reflect damage is placed, attacked, plays a leech on them. Also, bonus damage from the reflect damage. So overall, I use him in Faction Wars hard. He's definitely viable in Chimera and in Hydra and other progression areas of the game. I think he's a good champion, not an insanely good champion, though. Same thing with Kyoku. Again, nothing wrong with this champion at all. Arguably one of the best ally protectors in the game. But Ally Protector is really not the most sought-after ability in the game anymore. That all being said, I mean, she's fantastic. An AoE decrease attack. She's got a weaken, big version on the A1. A chance to place 3 hits if the target's under 3 or more debuffs. Very good. You can use Giant Slayer on her as well. She can actually dish out a surprising amount of damage with that A1, especially if you have that, if you have the debuffs on the target. But the Ally Protection with the block damage for 3 turns, she's tough to get rid of. She's really annoying to face and cool to have on your team. A really, really good progression support champion, or, a champion to be using in niche situations. Strategos. This dude is very interesting. Where the heck is he? Right in front of my face? God, am I that blind? Yes, apparently I am. All right, so Strategos Insulin. Interesting champion, right? He's got an AoE. He's decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn, which is pretty solid. With the decreased speed, a really nice A2 ability. He's got ally protection, increased defense as well. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, not ideal, but he does bring a counterattack on himself, which can lead to more provokes on his A1. A decent Head of Decay provoker for your team. He also has some heal going on. A good protector. Again, this is obviously the ally protection kind of theme here, but he's not one of my faves, to be fair. He's tanky, though, and can get the job done. You can see Arena Defense, Hydra, Faction Wars are his best areas. These ratings for me are a little bit high, but again, not a bad champion, but for me, not a must-have. Gaia, the Truth Shield. She's a very interesting champion here. We haven't talked about her a ton because I don't have her, okay? Again, pretty tanky. This is thematic here. We have another ally protection champion, 3-turn cooldown with the reflect damage on all allies as well as a strengthen and increased defense, or excuse me, resistance on herself, okay? An AoE, increase the duration of all ally buffs, damage increased by this skill for each buff that has its duration increased. Truth be held, I want to check the multiplier on this because it's interesting for an ally protector, right? To have a damage escalator mechanic. So let's check really quickly here. They give her a 4 on Hell Hades. What are the multipliers here? We have a legendary 3.4 damage grading on the A1 defense based, and then a 3.7 plus a 0.05 total duration multiplier or additive there. So a strong overall damage grading. And then she has, where I talked about the A3, whenever an ally under reflect damage is attacked, place a decreased crit rate and a decreased crit damage on the attacker. Cannot be resisted. It's nice, a damage mitigation, but again, it's not a game changer for me. A pretty good protector. And then Kira. I mean, honestly, if you don't have Lady Mikage and you don't have Kira, I'd be tempted to go for her just to finish the Mikage fusion, right? Like, to me, that might be the best option here out of all of these legendaries. We have an AoE decrease accuracy on an AoE on the A2. We have a decreased attack on the A1, the 70% land rate, not bad. Ally protection, increased defense, 3-turn cooldown. It's a great ability, but there's a billion of champions with this ability. She's, again, a B grade, B minus grade ally protector. I feel like that's the case with most of these champions. And those are, that concludes basically the non-voids. Now on the voids, things get a little bit different here, right? First of all, this champion right here is one of the most powerful PvP champions in the game. We had Cruisin on the channel recently. In case you missed that video, it was a banger on the main channel. I think it's titled #1 Pro ranks the top 15 legendary champions in PvP. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Niamhe was #2 overall. #2 legendary in all of Raid from one of the top players in the world because of the passive. Place a block damage buff on all allies for the start of each round. Each time this champion drops below 50% HP, also puts a block damage. So you can put her in protection, and you can rock a protected block damage. I mean, that's insane. And it happens every time her HP drops below 50% as well. It's very annoying to deal with, but there's more than just that. She has an always critical with a big shield here. Reduces cooldown of all ally skills by 2 turns on a fairly hard-hitting Cerulean Guard on her A2 ability. And then an AoE heal, a block debuff, ally protection on a 3-turn cooldown on the A3. It's weird. This is one of those champions when she was first released, I was like, meh. Kind of a very mid kit, especially for a Void Legendary. But that's why one pass can really make a difference, specifically if you're focused on the arena. Next, we have Nekret the Great. Who doesn't love Nekret the frickin' Great, right? He's just still one of the GOATs. This guy's known for being a PvP monster because he's putting a block debuff and ally protection to strengthen on an ally that can't be removed at the start of their turn. The ally protection, that is. At the start of the round, excuse me. So incredibly strong in the arena to protect your nuker. No need to put him in stone skin or anything like that. You can just build him to be all-out nukage. But he's really good pretty much everywhere, right? Because ally protection, or excuse me, ally attack is good pretty much everywhere, and he has that on Legion to the Damned. It's a very unique kit, the way that he places his ally protection one at a time, but heck, it lasts for 3 turns on the ally protection. The initial ally protection lasts for 6 turns, right? So with the cooldown mechanic, getting back to the A2 and the A3 and kind of alternating between can be lethal. You can get easily 2 or 3 allies under his ally protection, and then he has a decreased attack on a triple hitter, cannot be resisted. Very, very good for Fire Knight, areas like that, progression, just an insanely good champion. And speaking of insanely good champions, Krisk is still insanely good, even after all these years, even for a 94 base speed champion, an AoE decreased speed on his A1. He's got buff extension, he's got ally protection, he's got provoke, he's got increased speed on all allies, he's got decreased defense and decreased attack, excuse me, when he's hit. He starts out with a shield. He's great. I use him in a curse set for Hydra, but let's be real, I use him not everywhere anymore, but Faction Wars, he's a huge part of my team, obviously. Faction Wars hard. Just a great overall champion. You can use him in most situations. Old school Demon Lord, excuse me. Support basically anywhere in the game. He is really a champion that does change the complexion and the capabilities of your entire account. All right, the next 15X. Who we got here? Mikage, Brogni, Artak, Sissia, Walking Tombdrang, and then the Voids, Sulfuyion, Rio Bonespear, and Tamisha. This will be on Wednesdays. Wednesdays 15X. So let's go through these champions. Again, I'm not seeing one champion that I think is like S tier here, but I'm seeing a lot of A's or A pluses, right? Mishinaki, fantastic champion, specifically in Hydra Clan Boss. AoE, decreased defense, decreased attack, a Hex, and removing buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. 2 strong AoEs, both on a 3-turn cooldown. Very, very strong champion, has a chance to join in attacks, placing burns. Again, I like this guy in a lot of situations. He's a lifesaver in some Centranos areas, Cursed City. But Hydra is where he really, really shines. Brogni, even after all these years, good old Brogni is still good, especially after the fusion. They said they're not going to nerf him, knock on wood. I don't even want to say that out loud because who knows what Plarium's going to do. But the Grow Shield ability is certainly very strong. But moreover, he has a good kit overall, right? He brings his own shield on allies, block debuffs, increase attack as well. He can hit, you know, decently hard for a support, but he does do some damage with his burn as well. Solid champion overall. He's not as powerful as he was when he was introduced to the game. He was S tier champion for a while. OG players will know that. Now, not quite as good as he once was, but still a very, very solid champion. Orcs, Artak, man, he was a freebie, and I wish they would bring him back as a freebie. The fact that they're going to put him on a 15X tells me they're probably not likely to do that. But, I mean, Artak, he's a great champion. AoE on every single ability, right? Has damage escalation on his passive. He places the burn on his A3. He activates the burn on his A2. Coolest thing is he's so tanky, you can throw him in a regen set with an emergency healed blessing if you're lucky enough to have him awakened. And he can solo Ice Golem hard all the way up to stage 10. That's how beast mode he can be. He solos Ice Golem hard for me. My team is kind of made so that we can get to Ice Golem, then everybody else dies, and Artak just handles it from there. Granted, I don't have him empowered, but I do have a fully awakened emergency heal with a blood shield accessory on him. So, you know, your results may vary, to be fair there, but man, he's a beast, right? Obviously, anywhere you need a burner, you can use Artak. Sissia Flametongue, probably one of the best spider champions in the game. She's very similar to Artak, but she's attack-based, and she has an extra turn mechanic. If she places a burn on all enemies, you can come back in and activate the burn, right? But she has to place it on all enemies. Grants an extra turn if the burn's placed everywhere. But man, going in with the A3 into the A2 on Spider hard, man, she's a delete button very close to. I like that she has a triple hitter on her A1 as well with increased duration. Whenever you need a burner, Sissia Flametongue is going to be your gal, right? She's a companion champion with cardio, by the way, but they have a very weak synergy together. I don't run them together. I don't know many players who do. Walking Tombdrang, he was actually a huge part of me clearing Faction Wars hard with Knights Revenant. He was on my main team in stage 21. I like this guy a lot. He's very, very good, too, in Ice Golem as well. He has an irresistible HP burn on a 3-turn cooldown. Think Ignatius, but way better. Shorter cooldown, can't be resisted, burn. And then he has burn activation that also can't be resisted. The cool thing about him, though, is he also has one of the best heals, AoE heals in the game, one of those equalization abilities. That's why he was so huge for me in Faction Wars. I needed somebody tanky enough to do some damage, but also I needed a healer. There's not a lot of healers in Knights Revenant, so Walking Tombdrang was huge for me. I like this champion a lot. I don't think he's an S-tier champion, but man, he's really good and I think underrated. But we're talking about the best champion so far in the entire video. It's Sulfuyion. He's certainly one of the most meta champions in the arena. He has his amazing turn meter boost. You can place burn for a 20% turn meter boost because you get a 5% for each burn place. So you build him fast, you place the burns, and then he's a turn meter booster for your team. That's a 20% turn meter boost. He's also one of the best and most reliable ways to pop Stone Skin in the game, next to maybe Embreeze, right? You place the burn on all enemies, and you come in and you activate the burn on all enemies. He also has a revive with the extra turn. You can use him in Spider. You can use him in Ice Golem. You can use him in Hydra. You can use him in PvP. He's a beast. One of the most sought-after revivers in all the game. He is S tier. He is S tier. All right, next up is going to be Rio Bone Spear. Whew. Rio Bone Spear is S tier in PvE. She's not a PvP champion, but one of the best use cases of Feral, 9-piece Feral. If you can pull it off in Shadowkin, even if you can't, just make a note of it in the game. You get all these debuffs. That's huge damage escalation in Sand Devil, in wherever you want to use her. Freaking Iron Twins or Phantom Shogun Grove or any boss in the game. So strong. She hits so hard. I use her as my main DPS and debuffer in Demon Lord Clan Boss. I will show you guys right now. Hey, listen, if I didn't have both Sulfuyion and Rio, I'd probably go Sulfuyion, but it is actually close. But I like that Sulfurion's so good in the arena as well. But let me show you my Clan Boss team. I was just messing around with this team on a Rio Bone Spear kind of highlight video back in the day. And check it out. I literally have no DPS. It's just Rio. And she gets the job done because she's that freaking good. Check it out. Rio Bone Spear. And then the last on the list is going to be Niamhe. Rio, 60 million damage. She just carries the DPS for the team. No big deal. And my debuffs. That's pretty insane. Okay. Niamhe. Niamhe might be the one I'm most tempted to go for because she's Marius's empowerment champion. She's Marius's empowerment champion, and God, I really want a stronger, Marius on my account because my Marius is not empowered. He's 1-star awakened, and I really want to use him a little bit more in high-end live arena, but it's difficult. I still do draft him sometimes, mainly to block him from my opponent, but I would like to get him to his maximum, right? So empowerment is going to be an important part of that. That being said, Niamhe is good in her own right. In AoE stun, she was actually huge for me in Faction Wars hard mode. I used her all the way up until stage 21 for stuns, for control, for damage as well. You can use her as a burn applier as well in Spider. She can set up a champion like a Sissia or an Artak to activate those burns and then reapply the burns later. So Niamhe is a very good champion, good control again, big damage on Burning Regret even in Hydra situations, although I don't consider her S tier. All right, guys, there it is. That's the news in terms of the big shard opening events to coincide with this summoning event inside the Fusion. Let me know if you're tempted to go for anybody. Let me know if you're just going to open Ancients. If you are going for the Fusion just for that extra legendary event, let me know what you think of all these champions. Who's the most compelling to you? Ooh, I'm torn again. There's a lot of good ones here, but for me, I'm probably going to go for the Spear of I should just butcher. If I'm going to butcher Nyresa, I'll just go for butchering Niamhe. So I might go for her. Yeah, I might go for her because I already have these. But if I had to choose one out of all these champions, it would be Sulfuyion. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.